This is the Fibre Seeker 3, and it's the first consumer-based continuous fiber 3D printer. What the heck does that mean? You'll find out on the 3D Printing Zone. I have owned over 30 different printers, and this one is nothing like the others. When the sponsor reached out, they said, "We have a Fibre 3D printer." Well, I have 15 other printers that claim they can print carbon fiber. What's so special about this one? Most printers that claim they print carbon fiber are only printing fragments or shards of carbon fiber, and that has been infused into nylon or PLA or some other filament. This printer has a nozzle that prints filament, like other printers, but it also has a second nozzle that prints actual carbon fiber, not just the fragments. Pretend these Lego blocks are shards of carbon fiber. Placing them together is like mixing the fibers into the filament. Although it's stronger than regular filament, it's still easy to break. Using continuous carbon fiber with filament is like placing one long Lego block on top, much stronger. Let's get this thing unboxed and set it up. The unboxing experience was so easy. There are just 4 screws on the back for the spool holders, and that's it. Once you turn it on, you need to calibrate the printer. It has 3 steps: resonance compensation, nozzle offset, and bed leveling. I'll let this run through each phase and start the first print. If you're new to this channel, we always print a Benchy first. This printer came with clear filament. Let's load that up and try it out. That came out better than I thought. It did take longer, about 37 minutes, but the bridging looks good. There's more stringing than I'd prefer, so let's try a different filament that I trust. That is much better. I'd rank this at an 8.5 out of 10. If it printed under 15 minutes and looked like this, I'd put this at 9.5. That boat was printed on the right nozzle. Let's dive into the nozzle configuration. On the right side, you have filament that comes straight down, and it comes out this nozzle. That's how most printers are. Filament comes straight down, out the nozzle. This is where things are different. You see there's 2 tubes. One tube has filament, and the other one is a smaller tube which carries the carbon fiber. That carbon fiber goes straight down, out this nozzle, and then the filament comes down into this heated chamber, and then it bends and comes and pushes out this nozzle. So it's heated up, it's merged together, and I've never seen that before. It makes these prints so strong, stronger than anything I've ever printed in my life. This printer has 3 different modes: high speed, high strength, and hyper strength. We just saw high speed with the right nozzle printing PLA, which has a max speed of 500 millimeters per second. That's great for prototyping or printing large items or benchies, I guess. High strength is a mix between PLA or other filament on the right nozzle and a few lines of carbon fiber from the left nozzle. We'll show you what that looks like next. With the last mode, hyper strength, the whole print has carbon fiber on every line with the mixed filament from the left nozzle. Before we start the high strength print where it uses both nozzles, let's look at how it switches between those nozzles. This little mechanism right here. When I push on this side, it drops this nozzle down. Then it lifts it back up. Watch it again. As I push, it lowers it. So the print head will actually move to one side to push the button and move to the other side to push the other side when it needs to raise and lower this nozzle. All right, let's see that in action with the high strength mode. Right now it's printing PLA with the right nozzle. Now it's cleaning the nozzles and switching to the left side. Something to note as it's printing, not only is it combining PLA with continuous carbon fiber, but it's melting the already printed part, making that bond stronger. You can see this is a slow process, but if you need stronger parts, I believe it's worth the wait. I do have one concern. When this printer switches to the right nozzle and comes back to print again, it pauses and leaks a little bit of filament. You can see a buildup on the support material. Now, this video isn't a review video. It's part of the Kickstarter program, so it's a prototype. However, I've given this feedback to FibreSeek, and I suggest there be something like a purge tower to avoid buildup on support material or worse, the actual print. On the back of the printer, I have black PLA feeding the right nozzle. This printer can print PETG, PLA, nylon, PC, ABS, you name it. most filaments can go through this printer. I just have the white PLA going into the left nozzle, which is merged with the carbon fiber, as you can see on the border in white. This printer has filament runout sensors on the back. As this part was printing, the filament ran out, a piece of filament broke off into the detector, the sensor, and the print just kept on printing. I didn't catch this on camera, but here's what it looks like. I'm actually okay with this. It allows us to look inside the part and point out what part is PLA versus the continuous carbon fiber. I'm curious to see if this is stronger than a regular solid piece of PLA. Here's the part we just printed, and it is strong. Like, I don't think I can break this. Just to compare, I have this other piece that I printed. It's at about 60, I might have done 70% infill. You can see it's the thicker side, so not even this thinner side, which this is so strong. That's with one line of carbon fiber inside. Just to compare, yeah, there we go. I'll try breaking this again. Oh man, what's breaking is the inside, not the outside. The outside is holding strong. That carbon fiber is strong. That's pretty amazing. That was just one line of fiber. Let's see what we can do with 100% continuous carbon fiber print. That's with the hyperstrength mode. As this is printing, notice how there's a progress bar at the top. This bar not only indicates the progress of the print, but it changes color depending on the mode. Hyperstrength is purple, high strength is a reddish orangish color, and the high speed is green. This uses a lot of carbon fiber. I'm going to stop the print at only 1.6 millimeters so we can see how strong it is compared to this test print in PLA. All right, so I have the carbon fiber, and this is really strong. It's not even bending. In comparison, we have a little S. It's PLA, it's at 100% infill, and that's pretty pathetic. With the PLA continuous carbon fiber print at 100%, it is, like, you can see it's starting to bend now. Let's see if I can break this. Oh, geez. That is, you can see the fibers in there. Amazing. This printer is wild and one of a kind for home users. Larger and much more expensive continuous fiber 3D printers exist, but they're not meant for home users. In fact, they're so expensive, they don't even show their price on their websites. According to FiberSig, those printers start around $30,000, where this one will start just above $2,500 US. That's it. Eventually, I want to print a part that's the same shape and size as this aluminum metal. That way I can compare it to the metal and see if it's this strong. If you're looking for a printer that prints stronger than anything on the consumer market, click on the link below and check out the Fibre Seeker 3. Print stronger, smarter, and faster. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe. We really appreciate it. And check out this video here.